How's going on, people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mordzs, and look, today I want to talk about a certain player, a young player that's come through at Manchester United. He's actually started the last couple of games, so there's a lot. It's a good talking point because I really want to get into like his future at the club, what his form has been like the past few games, because I feel like he's played very well, and also where I feel like he's gonna go in terms of, is he gonna be a starter? Is he gonna be a good substitute? Does he need to go on loan, etc.? Let me know in the comments. What do you think about the player who is called TOBY? Let me know. Do you think he is, or what do you think about his current performances? You know, the game against Rangers, I'm going to speak a little bit on that. He also started the game before. I think the Brighton game. Did he start the Brighton game? He's been playing quite a few minutes, coming on as a sub, and also starting, like I said. But let me know exactly what you think on TOBY Collier so far, and also his future at the club. Do you think he's going to be a lifelong Manchester United player? I mean, we've kind of struggled in, let me not say struggled, but our academy players have struggled to maintain a good run of form and become quality players in the United first team. We've had academy players leave and do well, like, you know, Ilanga, Angel Gomez, Alvaro Fernandez, James Garner. We've had United players, academy players, go out and do well in other clubs. But in this United team, it seems like, you know, we'll have a good talent come through and they'll play well, whatever. And then, in my opinion, because the team is so bad, they also struggle. And then people get onto them. You know, players like Rashford, people get onto him. Players like, I mean, Greenwood's a whole other conversation. I don't want to talk about that. But, you know, I'm seeing people get onto Mainoo recently. I'm just seeing people say, oh, Mainoo, he's too slow. He's this, he's that. Which I think is ridiculous. I mean, he's one of the best talents in the world. I don't even know why there's even a conversation about Mainoo. Let's just appreciate what we have, you know. Until Mainoo gets to the age where he should be putting in these performances, we shouldn't even be having these kind of conversations, in my opinion. But anyway, today I want to talk about TOBY Collier. Like I said, let me know in the comments all of your opinions on him, whether you agree or disagree with what I'm saying about him, my opinions. Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe. Let's run at them subscribers, and let's get into this video. Now, last night, Man United played Rangers in the Europa League, and my last video, I spoke a little bit on that game, kind of what I learned, my instant post-match reaction, and I was literally scraping a 2-1 win against Rangers, which is, it's a good result, but it's a bad performance. I don't care what anyone says. Like, it's Rangers. Like, I don't watch the Scottish League. Fair enough. Maybe some of you guys watch them, so let me know in the comments what are Rangers normally like. Are they a very good team? But from what I've heard and from what I've seen people say, etc., like, Rangers might not even be a top half team in the Premier League. They might even be a relegation battle team in the Premier League. It's like beating Southampton 2-1. In my opinion, it's the same as that. You know, we scraped a win. Don't get twisted, their goal was a very good goal. And for some reason, it just feels like when teams come to Old Trafford, they just turn to prime Barcelona. Like, I'm watching Southampton come to Old Trafford, and they're just bopping it around. I'm thinking, what did Pep leave City? Like, what's going on? Like, is Klopp back? Did Klopp come back to this team? Like, I'm watching Rangers play. I don't know what their striker's called. I watched their striker bring the ball down, first touch, take it on his left foot and smack it in. I'm thinking, who is this guy? Like, he should play for us. What is going on that they're making these great tackles? They're working the ball around, playing this good football. I watched Wolves absolutely murder us in that game. Maybe not murder, let me not use the word murder, but I watched Wolves just absolutely dominate us. I'm thinking, why are teams coming to Man United and just flicking that switch and just turning into prime Real Madrid, like Bale, Ronaldo, Bale and Benzema? Like, they just came and they just, I don't know, let me not even get into that, because that's a whole other video. That's a whole other video that I could even get into. But yeah, like, it's like United just give teams this new lease of life, and they just come alive, and they're just the best team in the world. Or maybe we're just so bad, they just look that good. Maybe that's the reason, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, we play Rangers. They had a great goal. But today, I don't even want to talk about any of that. I want to talk about TOBY Collier. This is what I want to focus on, because he did start the game, and let's be honest, when a lot of people saw that starting lineup, you were probably a bit worried, or you're a bit surprised, at least, to see Collier and Eriksen. That's probably a midfield duo that we've never seen. You know, we're constantly finding new partnerships in this team that have never happened, and that's another one that a lot of people are probably confused about. at least understand what it's going to look like, because we've seen a Manu and Eriksen, we've seen obviously Manu and Ugarte, we've probably seen a Manu and Ugarte and Eriksen before. We've seen a Bruno Eriksen, we've seen a Bruno and everyone. Let's be honest, we've seen Bruno play next to every player, but COLLYER and Eriksen was new, and I wasn't worried, because I still feel like Eriksen can play, in this team, especially in a game like this. There's no reason why Eriksen can't play. If he couldn't play in a game like this, he should just be sold right now, I'll be honest. Get him out of the team in January. But I feel like he can do that. It was more focused on whether COLLYER can start and have a good, a large portion of the game, have a good game. And in my opinion, he did. I think he had a very, very good game. It was early on in the game where he had that, he miscontrolled the ball and he lost it, and Rangers kind of broke very quickly. And they almost scored. I think that their striker took a poor touch, and then Bayern there saved it. But from that moment on, I thought he had a very, very good game. He was clean on the ball. He kept things ticking. He wasn't too erratic. He wasn't trying to find the Hollywood passes. And one thing about COLLYER, which I think everyone appreciates and everyone can see in his game, he's a workhorse. He runs up and down that pitch. He will cover every blade of grass. Reminds me a bit of Fred. We used to call Fred the Wasp, because he was just everywhere, in everyone's faces, making tackles, interceptions, and I think that's a very good attribute, and I think that's an attribute that United need. And I spoke on the United stand last night. He has saved Amorim a little bit, Ineos, in terms of money-wise, because when Eriksen eventually leaves at the end of the season, Casemiro might leave in January. He might leave this month. If not, he's definitely going to leave at the end of the season. We're going to need another midfielder. We're going to need somebody else to fit into that team, especially considering injuries, they come all the time. Mainly could easily get injured next week. Ugarte could get injured, we don't know. He seems like a pretty robust player. Bruno rarely gets injured, to be fair. But other than that, I'm looking at our midfield options, struggling to... Mason Mount is injured right now. I forgot he even played for that club, actually. But yeah, we're going to need another midfield option, and I feel like COLLYER, because of the performances he put in, he's kind of given Ineos a little... He's ticked the box for them. He's ticked the box of a midfielder that can play for the team. And also, his attributes actually complement, in my opinion, they complement Amorim's system, first of all, but also the other players. Like I said, he's got them legs. I can imagine Manu and COLLYER working together, because Manu is very good at finding the right spaces. On the ball, Manu is very good at finding the right spaces. On the ball, he's probably one of the best players on the pitch at the club. But also, off the ball, Manu isn't necessarily the most mobile. He's not going to be the quickest to get back. If there is space in midfield, he's not necessarily the player that you want to see by himself. Whereas COLLYER, he's kind of the complete opposite. On the ball, he's still very good, but off the ball, that's probably his best attribute. The fact that, like I said, he covers a lot of the pitch. He makes a lot of tackles, interceptions. He wins most of his duels. He's a strong player. But on the ball as well, he can keep things ticking. He's very composed. I can see that Manu and COLLYER partnership working very well. And also him and Ugarte, that's kind of like the same player in my opinion, or similar attributes from both of those players. That could also work very well if in front of them they've got two very attacking players. So I feel like he works very well in this team. And I mentioned again last night that Bruno eventually is going to need a break. Eventually, we can't just play Bruno forever. He's going to need a break. He starts most games, if not every game. And I'm not trying to say that he needs to be dropped. I know some people, they see a player taking a break as dropped. That's not how it works. Players need to be rotated for fatigue. We're playing a lot of games. We're playing like 50 plus games. You're going to need to rotate certain players. Eventually, when Bruno does need to take a break, I feel like the best combination in that team would be Ugarte and COLLYER, Manu and Ahmad in the 210s. That midfield four, whatever you want to call it, I feel like that's the most balanced midfield that we could possibly have. Because I feel like Manu could play very well in the 10. He's got good feet. His first touch is pretty much perfect. He can get out of tight situations. Even, he's the most press-resistant player ever. If the ball gets fizzed into him, he's unlikely to get caught up in trouble. He can play that first-time pass. He's so aware of the pitch. He knows where every player is. And in terms of being in and around the box, he can finish very well. We've seen that multiple times against Liverpool, against City, against Wolves last season. He's a great finisher. And Ahmad, you know, Ahmad can do what Ahmad does what he needs to do. You know, we don't even need to get into Ahmad. He knows what he's doing. I feel like that midfield four with Collier and Ugarte behind them, because they are two very responsible midfielders. They're not going to try and drift forward and, you know, get into the box, and they're not like them kind of midfielders. They're going to keep their position. They're going to cover spaces. Don't get twisted off the ball, but on the ball they're going to keep their position. And they're going to keep things ticking in the midfield and work the ball through Mainoo. Mainoo's naturally going to drop a bit deeper, so we're going to have a lot of players behind the ball, so then we're not going to get caught out of position. I just feel like that works the best. Let me know in the comments, do you feel like that midfield four works? Mainoo, Ahmad, Collier, and Ugarte. And that's a good age. This kind of sounds like I'm saying Bruno should get dropped. I'm not trying to say that, but that's also good ages, you know. You got 19-year-old, 22-year-old Ahmad, I think, 23-year-old Ugarte, and a 21-year-old Collier. That's a good midfield in my opinion. Let me know what you think. Is that a strong midfield, or am I overdoing it? Let me know. But yeah, Collier, I mean, I got a couple stats from Collier's game yesterday. Let me just find them. So Collier, 100% dribbles completed, 94% pass accuracy, 66% duels won, 32 passes completed, 32 passes attempted, 30 passes completed, 2 interceptions. Also, Toby Collier last night became the first Man United midfielder to record 50 plus passes on their first appearance at Old Trafford in a major European competition, while also maintaining a pass accuracy of at least 94%. Now that just does sound like a lot of waffle in my opinion. You know, initially when I read it, I thought you're doing too much there. Like, too many stipulations, it's too much. There's too much going on. Like, I don't know what you're trying to get at. But when I actually dissected it, it's actually very good. It's actually a very good stat to have. It's pretty much saying that for a midfielder, a Man United midfielder that's having their first ever European game, not only did he complete a lot of passes, but his passes were accurate. 94.1% pass accuracy. That's a very good rate. That's like Cruz. You know, Cruz and them guys, they have like 95, 98 percent pass accuracy. We're talking about them kind of rate, like them kind of realms, which is very good. And like I said, for someone who's having his first European game at Old Trafford, young player, I think it's a great start. It's a bit of a waffle in my opinion, a little bit, but it's also a great start. Now I want to talk about the future quickly about Collier. Like I said before, I think he saved Ineos a lot of money, you know, being in this team. I don't think he should be a starter anytime soon, because I don't want to apply that pressure that we've done for so many other academy players. Let's just keep him rotating in and out of the team, giving him good minutes here and there when we need to. Not just giving him little 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then eventually he's going to start feeling like he needs more. Because if we do that and we just, you know, we give him them Van der Beek minutes. I know you know what I mean by the Van der Beek minutes. Any United fan will know exactly what I mean by Van der Beek minutes. You're going to want to leave eventually or go out on loan or whatever. We want to keep him at the club. We want to keep him at United. We want to keep him happy at the club. So giving him good, you know, 20, 30 minutes here, maybe even starting him for a game, taking him off at 60 minutes, keep him happy at this club. Get him that experience, playing in different competitions, whether the Premier League, Europa League, FA Cup, etc. And yeah, I think he's one for the future in my opinion. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about Toby Collier? Everything, you know, his ability, the games that he's played so far, and the future on this. I'm not gonna call him a wonder kid. He's not a wonder kid, but he's a very reliable kid in my opinion. A reliable player that we have in the club. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.